Boops are eternal. Boop the Snoot. Chapter 3. The Obligatory Hospital Scene. So, you've never been in a Canterlot hospital before. While Ponyville General may know your anatomy by experience alone, you blame Twilight entirely, which actually reminds you of something important. You'd never wake up, or expect to wake up anywhere else, well, except Ponyville. But especially now that your head is aching like someone dunked you 100 feet under, and starved you of oxygen a couple of days. Oh, wait, right, there was a princess here, isn't there? It was probably a good idea to look for her. Oh, yet again, a pony has invaded your personal space with her muzzle, and this time, it's Princess Luna. Funny, you thought that a weird bat pony thing would've... Wait a minute. Didn't she assault you? Well, if that's the case, no boops for her, the ultimate punishment. You shouldn't take something like that lightly, but honestly, when did you take things seriously in Ponyland of all places? But that can wait though. For now, you should probably see why she's, well, breathing on you. While ponies were weirdos, she was still one of the leaders of this land. Probably not the best option to just confront her about it. Hello there? Not exactly graceful, but you don't think you've ever been certain about talking to authority. Call it paranoia, but you've always had a feeling that saying the wrong thing at the right time will earn you a one-way ticket to space, regardless of what the ponies back in Ponyville might say.
Anonymous, you're awake.
She didn't really sound very happy, but at the same time, it didn't feel directed towards you. Her eyes kept darting towards the window, and she was rather stiff. Did something happen? If that's the case, why is she looming over you like she's gonna kill whatever is closest to her? Which just so happens to be you as well. Yeah, that's who I am. I am awake. Your attempts at comedy flopped to the point where it actually became comedic. Or at least to yourself. Or, in other terms, you awkwardly laughed at your own misfortune. Are you fucked again? Probably. Your question wasn't answered anytime soon either, as the princess continued to breathe on you for a while, staring out the window like it had insulted her family and murdered its firstborn. A pretty long while actually, as before long you heard someone stumble in. It turned out to be some pony in the end. The best way to describe him was probably the snooty nurse who can't believe he got stuck with this job. Oh, and he was the epitome of edge, which didn't really help his case at all. Like red and black unicorn kind of edge, you know. You really wanted to laugh. You really wanted to, but the atmosphere was starting to drain the fun right out of you. Ponyland was supposed to be happy, you know? Not quiet and moody. You want another refund. You want another world. It would be better with blackjack, with hookers. Actually, well, you kind of hate both of those things. You'll settle for another world free of charge. Just make this one fun. Fun all the time. Fun for the whole family. As the minutes ticked by, Mr. Snooty Edge started to circle the bed, throwing you blank glances. It didn't really seem like there was a big commotion about you being awake, and it was starting to worry you a little bit. Like, seriously, did something happen outside, or were you just out for 10 minutes, but somebody teleported you over to Canterlot to save face? It didn't make any sense if you were hospitalized. Is there something going on? You finally managed to choke out, despite the growing pressure around you. The first thing to notice, of course, was Mr. Edge having an aneurysm and giving you the evil eye before throwing up his nose into the air and marching out. So did he have a problem or something? Princess Luna's response wasn't even much better, snorting disjointedly before stumbling backwards.
Anonymous, when did you awaken?
The panicked response didn't go over your head, and you felt some humor coming back to you. Clearly, your throat, in an attempt to push out any tension, you prop yourself onto your elbows to face her. I don't know, a few minutes ago? I distinctly remember you saying, "Anonymous, you're awake," if that helps any, and I distinctly remember laughing like a guy on his way to the gallows. That last part probably wasn't necessary, but you made it work. For yourself at least. Princess Luna just stared at you like she'd seen a miracle. A miracle joking about his summary execution, but a miracle nonetheless.
You shouldn't be awake yet.
Okay. Well, I can promise you that I feel awake, unless this is some sort of elaborate dream, which I'm known to have on occasion. The princess's eye twitched for a moment, but you can't figure out why. But it was probably better to move on, anyways. So, onto the subject of waking. How long was I out?
Oh, simply a couple of days, though the doctors told us of the possibility of you remaining bedridden for a few weeks.
Now that was news. Not the worst news he ever got, but news nonetheless. Wait, what about...
Your canine companion is in the company of kindness. You need not to worry.
Damn. She was on the dot. Kudos where it was deserved, that's for sure. But you definitely started to notice how the princess was getting more olden as he talked. That's a relief, but hey, I'm awake, so everything should be fine, right? Princess Luna got silent to the point where you really were starting to worry. She also wouldn't even meet your gaze. Right?
If you would, please attempt to move your left leg.
That was an odd request. It didn't really worry you too much, but you still made an attempt. You just got bonked on the head, right? Oh, and it hurt like a bitch. You slumped back down onto your back, leaving you without the princess in your sight. So, Princess, care to explain why I have more than a bruise on my head? She started to laugh awkwardly. It sounded very fake and honestly, kind of adorable. So you, of course, started to get extremely worried.
There is no concern. It was simply a misunderstanding.
You're getting less amused by the second.
Absolutely nothing is of concern, Anonymous. We promise that thee is all correct in Equestria.
She's getting loud. She's almost using that voice that Twilight warned you about. Why is my leg broken? Actually, on second thought, you decide to give yourself a proper checkup, temporarily poking your head under the sheets. Why are there bandages on my chest and belly, Luna? Not to mention, why the fuck are these bandages all over my head? Your concern was greatly rising. The awkward laugh is getting slightly more hysterical.
We have prior obligations to see to. The guards will require my presence within the hour. Good day, citizen. We are here to ensure your happiness.
Her haste was as brilliant as the glow coming from her horn. And then she just teleported away. You're getting much more paranoid as time passes. Did she spear you through the chest with her horn and then ragdoll you around or something? I mean, that would make a lot of sense, but it also wouldn't be in the slightest. All that you knew was that it was obvious that she was responsible for this somehow. Oh, and whatever drugs they pumped you into were starting to wear off. Probably the Mr. Edge from earlier was here to do. It was getting quiet, and you're starting to feel physical feelings again. You're gonna be trapped with your thoughts in this room, aren't you? Fuck. The news from Ponyville had been interesting, to say the least, for a lack of better words anyway. First, the night guard had been sent to assure Anonymous's safety had done very much the opposite, and Luna was gonna handle it in the evening, supposedly. Second, the same night guard had never delivered her letter. In fact, she even managed to lose it. She simply hoped that no pony found it. Third, testimony from a certain Sakura, the Everfree Forest had a certain overflow of monsters. Apparently, a brew designed to repulse creatures from the barriers was quite volatile in nature, and instead managed to detonate around the center of the forest before it was even fully complete. Many of the smaller creatures had soon found their way out of the labyrinth made of forest. Twilight was going to oversee the investigation, supposedly, but she felt that her student already knew who, how, and why. And last, despite the many warning signs of a deserted town, Anonymous had somehow found his way into the center of Ponyville. And after he was already assaulted by the guard, a few curious timberwolves found their way towards him. At least the guard and the zebra had been there at the time. Otherwise... Celestia didn't really want to dwell on that for long. He still managed to get caught in the crossfire. She'd already mobilized a division of guards to the forest and was waiting for the report. Everything would be fine. But she still couldn't visit him until they'd reported back, and that bothered her more than she cared to admit. It had been a long time, and there was a favor to return.